Hello, this is Mrs. Oliver. Welcome to Drop Everything and Paint Holiday Edition. We're hoping today you will have a great time relaxing and painting. You will create a canvas that we will put out in the hallway for everyone to see your artwork, and then right before the holidays you'll be able to take it home as a gift. Today, the kindergarten project is going to be creating your own present. Here is my example. Today, you are going to design your own wrapping paper. Wrapping paper is used to cover boxes and wrap gifts for the holidays. When I look at wrapping paper, I often see a pattern. My example has a pattern in stripes. You'll see the blue star stripe. You'll see the red square stripe. I made a pattern with the yellow circle and green triangle. This is repeated all over the wrapping paper so that there is a design. You'll notice that I did make a design. I don't just have my stamps anywhere. I tried to go down in a line so that I could make it look like wrapping paper. After I do the stamping, I'm going to choose a ribbon color and a bow color that will be glued on top. That will make my painting look like a gift. So let's get started. Everyone has a canvas that looks like this. This horizontal line and this vertical line will show your teacher where to glue the ribbon. We want to make sure that we have the small, tiny square in the right side of our canvas. Take a minute to make sure your canvas looks like mine. I gave you 4 stamping brushes today, and they are all different shapes. Some are big and some are small. You will use them all and decide how you want to make your pattern. When we stamp our paint on, we may want to focus on one color for each stamp. We want to avoid where the lines are. So when I'm choosing to take my stamp, I may put it in places around the pencil lines because remember, the pencil lines will be where the ribbons are. So we don't want the ribbon to go on top of something that you painted. We want to work around the pencil marks. You have a palette, which means a container of paint, with primary colors. We have blue, red, green, and yellow. I'm going to place my stamps by the colors so I remember which one is using which color. You also have some empty space on your palette where you're going to use the excess paint. We want to make sure that we are not covering our entire sponge in paint because then our canvas will look kind of goopy and messy. We want it to be just a thin layer of paint on our stamper. I'm going to start with the color blue, and I have a small square. So I have a glob of blue paint. Right next to it, I'm going to push it down on my plate so that I have a very thin layer. So that's called taking the excess off. We have too much paint. I'm going to take a little bit off and move it to the side. And then I'll start working on my canvas. You'll see that I'm jumping over that pencil line. My paint's getting a little bit lighter, so I'm going to get some more. And you don't have to push very hard. You are not rubbing it like a paintbrush. You're dabbing it, pushing it down onto the canvas. So that's my first line of blue. Now I'm thinking about wrapping paper, and I know that I normally see that shape repeat again. So this time I'm going to make another stripe, but I'm going to move over kind of to the a little bit in the middle of my canvas. And do another blue stripe. Taking a look at my canvas, I still have a lot of white space over here, so I'm going to choose to do another row of blue. You'll notice that I'm avoiding those pencil lines. I'm dabbing off the extra paint on my plate. Okay, and I'm done with my blue square. I'm going to put that over to the side, and now I'm going to choose my next color. I'm going to go around my plate so that I'm organized of what I'm using next. So I'm going to move to this red. And this red has kind of a flower shape. That reminds me of poinsettias that I see a lot during winter time. I'm getting a little bit of paint onto my stamp, and then I'm dabbing it over on the side so I have a very thin amount of paint. I don't want it to be thick. I'm going to take my stamp and decide what pattern I want to do next. I'm going to move next to my blue squares, and I think I'm going to space my flowers out much bigger. Don't make them as close as I made the other ones. If you get a little section that's not filled in, just put your stamp back on top and try to wiggle it a little bit more, and it will fill in for you. Okay, so I did my row of red flowers. I'm going to move next to the blue squares I made and do the same thing. I'm going to try to make the pattern the same, so if I have a red flower up here, I'm going to put a red flower there, 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 there. My flower's getting kind of light. I'm going to get some more paint. Excellent. It's looking really nice. I'm going to repeat that one more time. And the great thing about this project is that we don't have to be perfect. You'll see that some of my flowers look better than the other ones. Some of them are lined up better than the other ones. We're just trying to have some fun today and do our best work. So now that I'm done with my flower sponge, I'm going to move to my next color, which is green. And for this one, I have a star shape. This is another bigger stamp. So I'm going to move over here. And instead of lining it up with this red flower, I'm going to go down a little bit and just kind of space out my star. Now you'll have different sponges, so you'll have different shapes, and everybody's wrapping paper is going to look unique. It will all look different. There isn't a right way or a wrong way for your gift to look. It's whatever you imagine and whatever creativity you want to use on your canvas today. Now you'll notice I don't really have room for the green over here, but that's okay, because if this was real life, we cut the wrapping paper to the size we need it for the gift. It doesn't mean that we cut it perfectly on the pattern. So I'm going to be done with my green. My last shape is a heart that I have, and my last color is yellow. have a little bit too much paint on there. Can you see how it's too much on the side? So I'm going to dab it next to the paint so that I have a thinner layer. And what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to put a heart here, but I'm also going to put a heart here. I'm going to kind of fill in my white spaces. I want my wrapping paper to be very colorful. So I'm going to use the color yellow all over my wrapping paper. Just like that. It's looking great. Okay, so now that I'm happy with my work, I'm going to move my sponges to the side, and I have to wait for my canvas to dry a little bit. I'm going to leave it onto my desk, and then I'm going to talk to my teacher about what ribbons I might want to use. In my example I showed you before, I chose to make my wrapping match. So I chose a green ribbon and I chose a green bow. We have lots of choices for you. We have green as a choice, red, gold. We have kind of like a rose gold sparkle and a silver. So you're going to choose what color you want your ribbon to be. That's going on this pencil line to the left and down. And after you choose your ribbon color, you're also going to choose your bow color. And your bows can match, but they don't have to. So let's say that I chose red this next time. I could choose a red ribbon and maybe my ribbon on the present was gold, or I could choose a green ribbon. Maybe I choose silver to be my flat ribbon, or you could choose gold. So your three bow colors are gold, green, and red. Your ribbon colors are red, green, gold, rose gold, and silver. The next part is going to use a hot glue gun, so you will need to see an adult. The ribbon is cut to the right size that you need, so the teacher will take the ribbon, take a very small amount of the ribbon to just attach the hot glue gun to the back. We'll make sure that your name is on it with a Sharpie marker so we know who it belongs to. And then tomorrow you'll see it hung up in the hallway, so be sure to look for your finished work. I hope you enjoyed painting today and have a wonderful Thanksgiving break. See ya!